This is my final video assignment for AHIS3005. Good afternoon. Okay. In AHIS3005, we have learned about the importance of cultural heritage in human society. We examined what is public history, tangible heritage, and intangible heritage. We have also learned about oral history and its importance in preserving the values of certain communities. We have also learned that there are threats to cultural heritage and that cultural heritage can come in many different forms. Public history is crucial for the preservation and propagation of heritage. Cultural heritage is understood as property that may be inherited. It encompasses valued objects and qualities such as cultural traditions that have been passed down from previous generations. We've also learned that in recent years there has been a shift away from valuing only exclusive things and places and objects that are deemed to have universal value for all humanity. We have also learned that cultural heritage can come in the form of heritage sites and historic sites. These are all significant ways of preserving values, beliefs, and traditions of people who no longer exist. Examples of historic cities include Cusco in Peru, Alexandria in Egypt, Athens in Greece, and Istanbul in Turkey. The preservation of these cities illustrates that these places are places of outstanding universal value, and they are a home to a variety of different people. Cultural landscapes that are currently preserved include Uluru National Park in Australia, the Tongariro National Park in New Zealand, cultural landscape of Sindra, Portugal, and Hortobagi National Park in Hungary. Unfortunately, natural heritage sites are under threat from conflict, climate change, and pollution. Public history involves working for diverse communities on the production and consumption of history outside academic settings. Public history focuses on how histories are made and interpreted in the broader community. Public historians examine phenomena along with the current debates about historical monuments or the ways that certain family histories are remembered and forgotten. This encompasses history on television, film, museums, family history, and cultural tourism. This is significant because most common knowledge about history is spread through public history, and it allows people who do not have an educational background on history to have a basic understanding of history. Public history can encourage a critical understanding of the past, and it reaches audiences much quicker than scholarly work does. Public history is often communicated in a way that everyone will understand without much background knowledge. Public history is sometimes informed by the history done inside universities, and it aims to engage with the broader community. Public history is booming across Australia, but there is room for public historians in and outside academia to communicate more often and in more productive ways. Public history is a way for making history available to all people, and it is also easily consumable, like movies. Tangible heritage is significant and they exist in different forms, and the purpose of tangible heritage is to preserve valuable things from the past. In some cases, tangible heritage is priceless, and it can also hold outstanding universal value. To have this value, the site must represent a masterpiece of human creative genius, exhibit an interchange of human values, bear a unique or exceptional testimony to a cultural tradition or to a civilization which exists or no longer exists. It must present an outstanding example of a traditional human settlement, land use, or sea use, which is representative of a culture. Intangible heritage can also hold spiritual value. It can contribute to the identity or belief system of a cultural group. Tangible heritage may also hold social value to a specific group of people or groups of people. Oral history is another significant element of heritage and it is perhaps the oldest form of communication and preserving history. It is a field of study and a method of gathering, preserving, and interpreting the memories of people, communities, and participants in past events. Aboriginal communities relied on oral history for the propagation and preservation of their religion through dreaming stories. These dreaming stories are inextricably connected to the land, and presently oral history exists in the form of music and tape recorders. Presently, Oral poetry is an example of oral history. An example of this is the Iliad by the Greek poet Homer, which was composed in 8th century BC and it was published in English in 1581, making it one of the oldest poems to have ever been composed. Thank you for listening to my speech.